Hello, my name is Matt Mandel, and this video is about asking star friends to help. I think there are star friends out there, as there are signs in the sky, especially over New Jersey and even California, according to news reports. And I get the feeling that there are maybe even other craft out there that we may not be able to see, and those craft are like a spaceship, and we can ask to go up to those spaceships when we go and dream. We can ask our star friends for permission to go and be with them during our dream. And it's part of the times. I predict that there's going to be more signs in the skies and more revealing as something has happened that caused a shift on our earth. And we're at a point where we can proceed to the next level, a new reality of a higher frequency, and it might bring peace. It might bring a supernatural subconscious abilities for the people on the earth, and we can meet with our star friends up aloft in the 5D spiritually. When we sleep, our astral body can project up, and we might not remember it coming down, but I record my dreams with a handheld voice recorder, and then I put it into my computer's audio editor and do the reverse function on it to get the reversed speech. And then I listen to my own speech. I don't like to listen to other people's speech because that can put a liquidy spirits from others into me. I want to keep my spirit, just my me self, my higher self, clean from other spirits. And I do that by just listening to my own sub-resonant voice, which is just my reverse speech myself. I call that SV, sub-resonant voice. And what I found listening to my SV is that I can detect that I am interacting with maybe some Martians up there or other aliens. Last night I was in an alien court, I think, with different aliens, and it was very bright and a lot of different colors, little squares and different geometric cover colors, and they were discussing something. It's because I asked a request. I requested to use one of their tic tacs to move around and promote my book, How to Trade ES Futures, because I want to get the word out there that you can make new freedom by trading ES futures, and it's one of the applications of your own supernatural abilities of accessing your subconscious. And when you're trying to remember your dreams is a way to do that. When people say they never remember dreams, well, remembering dreams is like a muscle. You have to be able to train your mind to do that, as in anything for the mind. Doing repetitive things with the mind will train it. Obviously, if you have a short-term memory, you can put the short-term memory into long-term memory by remembering it over and over again, and it eventually will into long-term memory, repetition. The same thing is for learning the spiritual uh, thoughts. The spiritual thoughts are learned by repeating to yourself that you're going to write down or record your dreams. And even though it's hard, it gets going to get easier and easier. Just like it's hard for a runner to start sprinting unless you train every day. And that's what you can do with your dreams. Train every day, because everybody obviously is going to be trying to sleep every day because it's in our biological clock. And the best way to sleep is to eat natural foods, because the pineal gland needs to secrete the melatonin hormone for you to go to sleep. And the pineal gland has to be healthy. And what makes the pineal gland healthy is eating natural foods. And learning your dreams will allow you to access your subconscious. The aliens or star friends might have to wipe our brains when we wake up, so we're not able to remember what we were doing when we were asleep astrally in our spirit. But the spirit and the mind can be disconnected in some people. If the spirit is disconnected, that's probably why a dream is not remembered. The spirit needs to be connected, the spiritual body needs to be connected to the physical body for the dream to be remembered. And it cycles through. The reason why it cycles is because up in the 5D, there's not really time, it's just a frequency, and it goes round about according to its circuit like a whirlwind. And when we're down here, it can go to the spiritual body and then to the physical body. And so when you remember your dream, what you're basically doing is you are creating a frequency between your spiritual body and your physical body. It goes over to your spiritual body and then comes back to your physical body. And that repetition makes you remember your dream, and then you can put it into long-term memory from short-term memory. And one of the problems of dreams is that once you remember it the first time, you can't remember it after you first think about it. That that's an indicator that your spiritual body is not in with your physical body. So that is has a spiritual benefit by itself. Putting the physical body with the spiritual body is very helpful, because obviously you're going to be getting help from above for your higher self, and that higher self is supernatural and very powerful. And I would think that, and I advocate that everybody would want to have their spiritual body put into their physical body, because you'll be better off. You'll do less evil things, I think, and more nice things, and you'll be able to do your life timeline, traveling your timeline according to what your soul agreed to do during this lifetime, if you're able to put your higher self into your physical self. So when I go to sleep tonight, all I have to do is sit in a yoga pose with my spine erect, take some deep breaths. It might take a couple of minutes, and I try to do that every night. And then I'm ready to go to bed, and I go to bed pretty quickly because I have a dark room, and I can then wake up and remember my dreams. I recorded into my handheld voice recorder, and then go back to bed real quick. Then when I wake up, I can go to my computer and get the messages, and I can even record what I remember of my dream after I'm fully awake, to document it and ponder it, and try to decipher what its meanings are. And so when you do this, then you're you're increasing the strength of your brain muscle by repetition, and you're connecting your spiritual body with your physical body. I understand that scientists might not even acknowledge that there is a spiritual body, but all you have to do is read the Bible, and you know that there is an above and below. And why scientists can't just find some experiments to prove that there's an above is because there's problems with the measuring devices. And one way to prove that there is an above is to exercise your mind and become more definitive and precise on your dreams, and increase that thought muscle for dreams in your mind, so that you're able to gain greater intuition. And I think that if you use SV, you can prove it, because your higher self will be speaking in the SV, and then you can decipher it yourself. And if enough people are able to find their higher self in their SV, then just by the numbers, that is a a witness to a realm not seen on Earth because it's a higher realm. And if enough people can do it, then there will be a consensus that this is true, and minds will be changed, and we'll look in different places to do experiments, and then we'll finally make the connection that there is the 5D, the higher realm, even though that, and we're in our low energy evil place right now, evil realm in the 3D, and it's disguised. So we have to ask for it to be uncovered, and it can be uncovered by our higher self, because there are spirits out there that want this to happen. And I think it's a natural evolution for for humans. I think there's already animals right now that are connected to the higher realm. That's because they have an animal instinct that far exceeds our instinct for the higher realm, because we have more of a conscious and thinking aspect to our brains, and that's just the way we are as humans, and and how animals are different. But nevertheless, animals can be able to teach us that we are a spiritual being as well as a physical being. And eventually, I think if enough people have their subconscious evaluated and they understand it with SV, then we'll start to be able to communicate telepathically, and that will open up a new realm, because once you can communicate telepathically, then we'll be at a higher frequency, because as we know, words can have evil things in it. From Adam and Eve, when they bit into that apple, they had they started speaking words that were evil and good, and it was clouded. They didn't know which was which thought was which when they spoke, and they fell down to this realm, and they had to use discernment to figure out which way was right. So it's like you have to take two steps to make one step. It's just one step up in the 5D to know the right way, but down here there's crooked ways, and we have to take two steps to know if it's a crooked way or not, because we have to use discernment. Now, after saying that, I hope that you enjoyed this conversation, and I think it's a prediction for the future that we're going to start becoming telepathic and communicating with our thoughts, and that's going to be a big game changer. But before then, there's going to be signs in the sky, and those signs in the sky are an invitation for us as humans to go and not worship the star friends, but be friends with them, be equals, and they're going to be helping us go to the spiritual realm. You just have to ask permission, and then it can be uncovered and you can receive.